Okay, guys, Mike from Mike's Golf Shop here, and we're fixing to fire up the British Open. So, let's just do a little quick scan of the golf headlines to see what in the world is happening over there. I know that the golf course is plenty burnt out, so the people are going to be driving the ball a country mile over there, and the golf course is going to play extremely short, which I think, is good for everybody in the whole field. I mean, there basically won't be a par 5 on it, except for what happens in the wind. And you also are going to have some of the big guns are going to be playing more par 3s than the other guys, because some of them 400-yard holes, them guys are going to drive. There's several short par 4s on the golf course. So let's see here. They're talking about Rory McIlroy kind of looking for the inner child. Maybe wanting to try to turn back the clock a little bit. He's struggled of late for sure. Tiger Woods is kind of bent down his 2-iron a little stronger. He's going to be hitting irons off the tee, it looks like, the whole time. This R&A guys are talking about Phil and his penalty were not good for the game of golf in the US Open, and they kind of got a few things there to talk about what he would have done for the had that happened over there in the R&A. So pretty interesting stuff. So that's pretty much it for the news that we got on the game of golf right here before this British Open. Let me check one other website here real quick, and that is actually the Open Championships website. Just to see on their news feed if they've got anything spectacular to talk about. I'm popping that open now. And let's see here. Official site of the 147th Open Championship. And if you go click on news, let's see what they say is news. Headlines. Let's see. They just got a few articles about what they think is going to happen there. And McIlroy, the story. McIlroy's a big story this week. Can he? He was low amateur when they had it here last time in 2007. Let's see. Patrick Reed says he has the right approach to the majors. Strategic Carnoustie may still present opportunity for bombers. I think in some cases that's true, because they're going to be playing more par 3s than the other guys. The scoring is going to be low. I look for a low finishing score to win this thing. Gary Player is making an appearance over there. He won the British Open at Carnoustie, I think, in '68. Justin Thomas says he's ready to go. Justin Rose determined to prove Open potential at Carnoustie. Europeans hope to win over there. Rory and Fleetwood are certainly on the top of everybody's list. DJ says, apparently he is the betting favorite. Tiger Woods hopes to find major success at firm, fast Carnoustie like he did in '08. So that's kind of the storylines of what we got going. And in just a moment, we're going to call Dr. Alan Hampton of legendary University of Georgia golf fame. Played in US Amateur at Marion. I think he played in the Mid-Amateur at Hazeltine. And is, I think, just coming off of qualifying or attempting to qualify for the US Amateur at Pebble Beach. So we're going to dial him up on the phone now here in just a second. Okay, folks, I've got on the phone with me today, on the road from coming back from a US Amateur Qualifier, the venerable, legendary Dr. Alan Hampton of University of Georgia golf fame and many, many USGA events, and his also loyal associate, and in this particular case, caddy, Jeff Toole. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Doing good today, Mike. How about yourself?
Oh, well, I'm all right. How about you, Jeff?
I'm here. I'm good.
Good. So, where are you guys at right now?
Well, we've been up to Cincinnati trying to qualify for the US Am. We played a really great Seth Rayner design golf course, one of the top, at one time ranked in the top 100 in the world or 50 in the world, and 50 obviously in the United States.
Right.
Called Camargo.
Okay.
Just a really, really nice old classic layout.
And this was US Am qualifier for Pebble Beach, right?
US Am qualifier, and I'm 55 years old now. I was the oldest man in the field, and I finished in the top 20 if you inverted the scale.
Well, at least you had a good time and you did it, right?
We had a great time, and I always enjoy going to Camargo. The people are real nice to me there, and just to play the golf course is a treat. The green complexes, a lot of the greens are, they're 80 feet wide by 100 feet long. They're really large, and then they stick the pin in a corner, and it's just an unusual design. And the greens were really firm and pretty quick. Wind blew hard, about 20 mile an hour all day.
Nice.
So only 2 rounds out of 78 contestants. Only 2 rounds out of 78 times 2 under par.
So it played pretty tough then, didn't it?
Played tough, pretty tough, especially for me. But we had a great time.
Good. So now this week, we got the big guns over across the pond in Scotland at Carnoustie to play the Open Championship. Now, you played that golf course, Carnoustie, hadn't you, Doc?
I have been to Carnoustie and only played it one time, and I don't remember what time of the year we were there. We were probably there around September.
Okay.
So I'm sure conditions would be a little different this time of the year, and depending on whether they've had any rain or whether it's a dry summer. And I understand it's kind of a dry summer over there. I think the golf courses, I haven't had an opportunity due to us playing to really watch much of it on Golf Channel, but I understand through conversations with you, the golf course is like a blowtorch, as you like to say.
Yeah, I love it, yeah.
Playing firm and fast.
It looks like they went out there with a flamethrower.
Steve Melding was a U.S. or British amateur champion on that particular golf course, and I'm a retired dentist now. Steve's mother and father were patients of mine, so I'm familiar with Steve, winning the British Am there many years ago. But the golf course is, the golf course, best I remember, has got a lot of good holes on it. Starts maybe a little slow. Yeah. But the finish is quite strong.
Well, I know this. This golf course, you got to cross that burn 18 times, I think, and there's plenty of bunkers on that thing. And with it playing, like a concrete freeway, it's pretty much going to be the guy, I think, that doesn't make mistakes. It's going to be a course where the mistakes are going to eliminate people. Is it the kind of golf course you think if it's real fast you can actually eliminate the mistakes of hitting it in the bunkers or the burn?
Well, I think it'd make it even harder because, if you were to pick up some wind, the golf course, the ball could roll on you an extra 20, 30 yards from what you're accustomed to it rolling. So being able to eliminate, where you generally think you could stand there and hit it short of a fairway bunker, and gauge what it's going to run. If it's running firm and fast, and then you add the wind to it, it's going to make it mighty tough on them. But
so I know that you're an extremely good course manager. I know you understand how to go around a course a time or two and kind of take it apart and understand where the birdies might be and whatnot like that. I mean, what would be your approach to playing a golf course like what it's going to be this week?
Well, I think the biggest, issue you got over there. I mean, pot bunkers, they're a little different than they are in the States. A bunker in the States, you can still play from, still reach the green.
Right.
You get it in a pot bunker over there, there's hardly no reaching the green. And, with the side face, stacked faces on the bunkers, you get up near the lip of them, I mean, you're just doing good just to get the ball back out and play. You're a lob wedge like a greenside bunker just back to the fairway.
So it's a stroke penalty.
It's a stroke penalty, which it should be. I mean, that's what it is. It's a hazard.
Right.
And in the States, we don't play it much like a hazard. But you just gotta eliminate those bunkers at all costs. You cannot play out of them. You cannot put yourself in them. So
you got to make sure you're short of it, or you fly over it, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So in that particular, and again, the greens are not overly difficult, and they're certainly not going to be fast. They're going to be.
No, the greens don't have a lot of contour to them, and the greens, they're not small, but they're not large. But like all typical courses over there, they're going to keep green speeds, probably 9 on the stimp meter, because they know if they were to get high winds, the course becomes unplayable.
Right. So in this kind of situation, we've seen the game of golf dominated by bombers lately, especially the US Open. Do you think it favors a bomber in this case, or is the little guy got a chance?
I think with the course running firm and fast, you'll bring a few more players into the game, but I still think the game of golf's trending and might have already be there. It's a bomber's game.
Yeah.
And it might not be a particular bomber, but you've got a lot of bombers out there, and when you put 20 bombers together, one of those bombers is going to get hot with the putter, and they're going to win the tournament.
Okay.
And, of course, I think you got a lot of boys, they've been over. They played the Scottish Open this past weekend, and, getting acclimated to just the time change.
Yeah.
Is an advantage for the players. And
right.
I think that's a wise move. So I look for, your typical guys to be up there. I can't see. I'm not a Koepka fan. I don't think Koepka, is a British Open type player.
Right.
I look for Justin Rose, being from England.
Yeah.
Justin's got to be one of your premier ball strikers in the game. If
right.
Justin puts the putter together, Justin's pretty hard to beat.
So what about, in the last, we've had over there in the British Open a couple of close calls with old guys almost winning it. Notably, I think it was in 2008 when Greg Norman had a 54-hole lead, or was playing in the last group on Sunday, and Padraig eagled, I think, one of those last couple holes there to win. And then you got the very next year, Tom Watson, which I think was one of the greatest achievements of mankind at age 59, really kind of having both hands on the trophy on the 72nd hole. You think there's any chance that Bernhard Langer can win the Open this week?
I don't think so. I think Bernhard's slowing down. I think Bernhard's showing some signs of some weakness with the putter.
Yeah.
Bernhard's physically pretty amazing for his age. He's in such great physical condition.
Right.
It's a possibility, but I don't think he can sustain the putter for that length of time. And it's interesting, the two things that you just touched on a while ago. I agree with you, Mike. It's, I sat there and pondered and saw Watson play the last hole.
Right.
And make the bogey when I think he ended up hitting 8-iron and carried it a little more direct line of the flag and went over the back of the green. Of course, ended up subsequently losing the playoffs to Stewart Sink.
Right.
But in 2008, you said?
It was 2009 when Watson.
2009.
Yeah.
So 2009, and the Duel in the Sun was 1977.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, think about the year span from that, and think about what would be going through your mind of standing on. If it makes my hair stand up on my arms to think about that, and I've never been in a position like that.
Well, I mean, think about this for just a second. I mean, Watson in 09, standing on that 72nd hole, was 4 years older than you are now.
I mean, that's pretty remarkable. And
yeah.
I can't imagine what would be going through his mind and thinking, here I'm fixing this. I'm standing on this same tee.
Yep.
I assume they're playing the same box. I'm not certain of that, but could be, probably.
I'd say.
He's standing there fixing to win a major that he would have won, 30 some odd years earlier.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty hard to accomplish, and I will assure you that you will not accomplish that in any other sport other than the great game of golf.
Well, that's so true. And, that's one thing I think this week is certainly possible is, I mean, I've said for a while now, I guess it's because I'm older, but some dude over the age of 50 is going to win a major one of these days. And, I think you got to have the course conditions just exactly right. And I think the course conditions they got this week are, in fact, just exactly right for an old dude to win that thing.
Well, I agree with that. You're going to have the course conditions in a certain way, where the experience outweighs the power.
Right.
Because
don't you think that's what we got this week?
Like I said, I haven't seen the golf course, haven't seen, the setup or, had a chance to really watch any of the Golf Channel due to us traveling for the last week, trying to, work on my own game.
I got you.
But I'm looking forward to watching it the next couple of days. And, Carnoustie in the past has put up a pretty stern challenge to the boys.
Oh, yeah, ain't no doubt.
I'm curious to, like every other viewer, we'll touch on another subject that I like to talk a lot about. I'm curious to watch Tiger.
Yeah.
See how Tiger fares,
Well, I mean, the condition looks just like Hoylake.
Well, he wore him out at Hoylake. He probably didn't hardly hit a driver off the tee the whole week.
Yeah, I think one.
And I think earlier in the year you saw Tiger play some pretty good golf, when he could hit the irons off the tee. Right. I think he's still one of the great iron players in the game.
Right.
If he can play a golf course where he doesn't have to use the driver.
Well, I don't think he'd have to use it one time over there, what they got this week.
I don't disagree.
I heard him say he hit a driving iron on 18, 335 yards the other day, on Monday.
It's pretty amazing, but, you also got to wonder what his mind frame is. He did not play well at the Masters this year.
Right.
I thought he looked, the golf swing looked totally different, not in terms of a technique standpoint, but the speed wasn't there at Augusta this year. He didn't look like he had good rotation or speed.
Right.
And then for him to start as a 14-time major champion, for him to start at one of the easiest holes at Shinnecock and open with a triple.
Yeah.
And then double it the next day, you got to wonder what his mindset is.
Yeah, that was a really weird thing. Yeah.
Shocker. I mean, he's lost some of his mental edge, and we all know it's great. Not that I've ever been at that level of play, but as a competitor, that great mental edge is a tremendous asset to have, and I think every great athlete, no matter what sport you ever played, they've had it.
Well, speaking of great athletes, I think I'm going to take a moment here to dial up the Furman Flash on the phone and see if I can get him in the conversation. Can you hang with me just a second, Doc?
Yes. Now, I've met Furman Flash in the past. Best I remember, I think this is the guy that taught Brad Faxon most of his
Faxon,
game prowess.
Anything that Faxon knows that's good about golf, he learned directly from extensive tutelage from the Flash, Furman Flash, Jeff Sherrill. Hey, hang on a second. I'm going to try to dial him up here.
All right.
I know he's busy. I'm doing a conference call thing, so you'll have to hang on the line for just a minute. You'll hear us come back, maybe.
All right.
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Jeff Sherrill.
Well, for some reason I couldn't get him on the phone. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'll try to get him back here in just a little bit. Maybe he'll call in. Again, let's talk about this British Open thing and kind of what's going on over there. Obviously, you got. It looks like the weather conditions are going to be kind of tame. The temperature is going to be in the high 60s. You don't have much rain going to be happening. It doesn't look like it's going to be very windy. I mean, the forecast shows like 12 miles an hour on average over there, which is nothing. And you got a firm and fast fairway, and you got the rough is, even though there is some rough up there about knee high, it's so dry and wispy that I think most of your lies are going to be the kind of thing where you can at least move the ball forward. So, scoring more than likely is going to be kind of low, don't you think?
I would think it would be quite low under those conditions. And, what I'm observing in the game of golf now, particularly when you're talking about the setup that you're speaking of, these guys stand up, they bomb it off the tee, and, if they bomb it in the rough 4 or 5 times during the round, they're only hitting a wedge or a 9-iron. They're going to get it up by the green, if not get it on the green. And they're good with the short game. They're going to make the pars on those holes. But when they bomb it and get it in that fairway, they're pretty tough to beat. So,
well, I noticed on Carnoustie, looking at the stats of the course, for one thing, it's actually going to play. It's actually shorter in yardage this year than it was the last time they held it there in 2007. So the course is going to be short and, of course, playing extremely fast. There's par 4s on this golf course, several par 4s that are in the 420-yard range and shorter. So, I mean, guys are going to be knocking it hole high on those things, aren't they?
Yeah, you take a gentleman player hitting at 330, 340, and with these conditions, they could possibly hit the tee balls 400 yards. And then you add wind with it.
Right. So, they literally could be playing 7, 8 par 3s.
You're correct.
And the par 5s are non-existent for sure.
That's correct. Best I remember, 14's a par 5. 6 is, of course, the famous par 5 that Hogan hit the drivers to the left of the bunker. You played the golf course. Do you remember that tee shot? I remember that tee shot somewhat. It's seemed like they have something over on the right side of that hole, like heavy rough. I remember that you didn't want to go right, but the bunkers down the left, it's pretty narrow space between the bunkers and the high rough to the right. But I as a player, I wouldn't even look to the left of those bunkers. I wouldn't even begin to dream that I could drive the golf ball to the left of the bunkers, between the bunkers and the out of bounds stakes. It's like,
is that a fact? Is it really that tough a shot?
It's that tough of a golf shot. And to say think that a man could stand there and hit 4 in a row, what I thought about when I stood on that tee, I thought about something I saw in a magazine one time. A guy wrote in and said, I want to ask about, who do you think was the greatest driver of the golf ball? Was Ben Hogan or Tiger Woods? And Bob Toski responded to the question, and he said, I wish there was an audible in here where you could hear me laughing about this question you've asked me. He said, I played numerous practice rounds with Ben Hogan as well as tournament rounds, and I would go on record to tell you that Tiger Woods missed more fairways in a 72-hole tournament than I ever saw Ben Hogan miss all the years I played with him.
Well, that's one unbelievable statement, isn't it?
That's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, obviously, Ben Hogan was certainly a legend and found a way to control the flight of a golf ball better than anybody probably has ever lived, don't you think?
I agree with that.
And
modern player, you know, of course, I say modern. He's got age on him now. Trevino was a great ball striker too, and
right.
You know, Trevino was one of the few players that really had Nicklaus's number.
Right.
Not many people got the best of Jack Nicklaus very often, but Trevino had a pretty good record against him.
Yeah, I mean, and so it kind of to me looks like this golf course, what we got lined up over here, is going to be a tactician's kind of a thing. Somebody who can really control his ball and make sure it stays out of those bunkers is going to be the champion, I think. That's going to be the ticket to it, don't you think?
I don't disagree.
Because they're all going to putt about the same over there on that stuff. And you know,
the greens don't have a lot of speed to them, and it takes a little adjusting over there. You know, from that standpoint, you know, the players from across the pond, the foreign players, probably have a little advantage there. They're used to playing those type greens and that type speed a little more than American players, but they're all such good players. They adapt very well.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, let's bring in Jeff Toole there for just a second. Jeff, you on the line?
I'm here.
So tell me, what do you think about Camargo?
Beautiful course. When you get off of the greens, miss the greens a little bit, you have a totally different shot than you would have at any other course. You
right.
are 10 to 12 feet below green level, and you're in a bunker, so you've really got to get it up. Very demanding course as far as accuracy.
Right.
Key to that course, hit the ball in the fairway.
Was that your first time, Jeff, at one of these USGA qualifiers?
It was. It was great to be there and enjoy the atmosphere. I got to play the course beforehand. The key, I think, hit the fairway, hit the greens, and then you've got to be a great lag putter.
Right.
On greens that have some speed, some slope, and local knowledge, I think, is so important there.
Howdy, y'all. This here's Mike from Mike's Golf Shop. This is an important announcement from our sponsor, Mike's Golf Shop. Just want to let y'all all know, what do? We buy golf. That's right. We buy golf clubs. So go to mikesgolfshop.com. Click on the tab Sell Your Golf Clubs. And we have an automated system. No matter where you live in the United States or the world, you can go on there and you can sell us your golf clubs. And we got a special going right now. When you sell us your golf clubs online, we will in fact send you a free dozen Pro B1 5A used golf balls that are really good. And all you got to do is go on there, fill up your cart for your clubs that you have from our database. We'll send you a USPS label for free, and then you slap that label on a box and you ship us your clubs, and we'll send you the money. It's pretty simple. Okay, that's Mike's Golf Shop. Mike'sGolfShop.com. Okay, back to the show. All right, boys. So any last comments you got about this upcoming British Open?
Well, I always enjoy watching this championship. Every major has its own intricacies and, course design features that you like. I mean, Augusta, it's such a great piece of property, being a former nursery, but they take it back to the same venue every year. I mean, it's always going to be at Augusta. That's
right.
At least the Open goes to a different venue, or the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
But the Open Championship, I guess, as they like to call it, British Open, I think that's my favorite tournament to watch. It's generally you're dealing with quite a few elements. You got wind, you got rain, you got people teeing off starting as probably as early as 6 or 7 in the morning and going till late in the afternoon. So, the elements can change on you a lot. Your draw you get over there is, you can be on the good end of the draw and you can be on the bad end of the draw.
Right.
But it's I just like to watch the world-class players, and
Oh yeah.
you know, the field at the U.S. Open is generally mighty strong.
Right.
The field at the Masters is by far the weakest field. I'd love to see the Masters go to having a criteria for the same exemptions, same field that they have for the Players Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to elevate the quality of the field at the Masters. I don't know why they don't do that. I feel like they don't want to go to using boat tees for starting times. And
Right.
I might question that they don't want that much traffic on the golf course. But to me, this is the best championship out there. You got a strong field. You got elements. You got, you know, sometimes not pristine conditions to play, which brings out the player that really's got the best skill.
Right.
And so it's a great championship to watch. I'm looking forward to watching it in the next couple of days.
Me too, man. All right, guys. Tell you what, I appreciate you chiming in about your experiences in the U.S. Amateur and whatnot, and we'll talk again soon.
Appreciate you reaching out to us, and I got one last thing to say.
Let's hear it.
Go visit Mike Mixon in Mixon's Golf Shop in Chattanooga. We buy golf. We love golf. We love all things golf.
Thanks, Alan.
Take care.
See y'all
Bye-bye.
later.